of the emerging technologies of area. So that is a model that we wanted to adopt in each and every state, set up that. So this will feed into the rich faculty, quality faculty to the our institutions and as well as Tier 2, Tier 3 institutions. So this model has all the three major components of formal education, non-formal education, faculty development are all embedded in this. HR are being addressed by an integrated fashion. 30% of the capacity to come from the PPP mode, that is state government participation and industry participation. And 50% of the internal capacity, around 3.5 million, we wanted to aim at disadvantaged segment of the societies, minorities, physically disabled persons or differently abled persons, or other minorities, women and other sections of the society. So 40% of the courses to be targeted for electronics and hardware sector, and a seamless blend of formal and non-formal courses with facility to enter and exit any level. You must be noticing somebody who doesn't have a formal degree in IT. He must be working in industry for many years. He must be having a lot of knowledge when compared to a formal student. There is a saying, no? So a new doctor is much, a old patient is much better than a new doctor in some of the cases. So just like that, some of the people who are working in IT who do not have degrees, formal degrees in IT alone, they can come and enter these courses at the different levels depending on the level that they have, the experience that they have already gained in that area. So evolving a unique system of academic credit transfer. IT is an industry, we have seen that most of the people are changing jobs every second day or every second year. 1 or 2 years only, the retrenchment is very fast. So if a person is studying today in some of the university or educational system today in this one institution, if he goes to some other institution, maybe some other state, so how he can transfer the credits that he has earned, academic credits that he has earned here, that can be transferred to that. We wanted to introduce a token system in these systems. Using that token, okay, he can go and then continue the remaining courses there from another institution in another geographical location, so that his academic career will not be affected even though he has transferred from one place to other place. What are the spin-off effects? IT mass literacy. When you are talking about 500 million to be trained in various skills, all these 500 million people need IT skills. Now today IT is everywhere. Without IT, one cannot survive. So if that is the scenario, all these 500 million requires IT, minimum IT awareness programs in IT. So some of the courseware that we are already developing in 22 languages will be available freely in the public domain. That is awareness course to certificate course in concepts, computer concepts. And the material will be available in all modes, that is text, video, animation, gaming, and whatever you want. And multiple modes of delivery can be adopted: e-learning, m-learning, cable TV, classroom, or u-learning. Convergence with various other programs like Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, or National Literacy Mission, NEGP, National Broadband Plan, National 3G Rollout Plan, all those issues. Another 2 minutes. So with all these things that you are having, this is a crowded slide. On the left-hand side, you have all the models of teaching: classroom teaching, CBT, web-based teaching, mobile learning, virtual classrooms. On the right-hand side, you have all the stakeholders, right from instructors, educators, experts, authors, and content developers, students, and other learners, other stakeholders. Now, connecting these two, you have different bridges. One is the infrastructure, tools and technologies, standards, delivery, and output. So if you combine all these things in an integrated fashion and then deliver to the student, he will get rainbow colors of teaching, what we call secured, reliable, affordable, reachable, localized, increased quality, motivation, and retention, just-in-time teaching. So just in summary, missions such as this NKN and NMEICT require enormous determination and vision and continuity. The philosophy is encourage and enable, enrich, and empower the users. Collaboration and interaction and sharing are very important paradigms for quality and education system and innovation. Government would act only as a catalyst. We can promote the technology, use of technology in the education, but we cannot do the education. ICT is expected to bring in revolution in education the way textbooks revolutionized a few hundred years ago. A little bit tall climb, but achievable. I'm optimistic. Ultimately, it is the mindset of the stakeholders requires a paradigm shift. ICT is only a tool, it is not a replacement. Please note, laptops cannot replace head-tops. We cannot eliminate human teachers. They are required. Teachers are required, but ICT you use as a technology so that you can deliver it effectively. Thank you very much. Any quick questions? Okay. Yeah.
Can I? Yes. Can I ask a question? See, very interesting your presentation, and you worked very hard. But as an old timer and gathering the new things inside, I don't need it. Thank you very much. See, your things are fraught with some dangers. Today, what let us say engineering students are doing, they do not know, 10 years down the line, which will be the new problems which will come. We just have to make a wild guess and do certain courses. Basics, of course, we have to do. But when we come to the advanced topics, we just have to make a wild guess.
Correct.
Now, when you say, see, the whole thing is that the whole message which comes from your presentation, as if you have to produce, let us say, an engineer, you have to produce a globally relevant engineer and employable engineer and so on. I am afraid, I think our vision is very, very narrow. Employability is one of the factors, one of the very important factors though for the students, and which is lacking, which is important, which has to be focused. We have to attempt that. But are we doing that? Our aim is still bigger. We have to create a person, generate a student who is an independent thinker, a lifelong learner. He can solve new problems, and he's a knowledge generator, as you have said. But you said knowledge generator, but your whole focus is on, and then another thing in the same tone, your presentation is very coherent. But I don't agree with that coherence, with your philosophy, with all respects to you, is that you said now the student is smart. Yes, student is smart. Okay, of course you take out the gurus also. Your student is so smart, I don't agree with you. But anyway, now he says you have to design an aircraft. You have the specifications. You get the specifications, future specifications. Now you cannot do it. Yes. And then,
yes.
Can you pose a question? Yeah, question is the student decides these are the specifications. Now I have to go backwards. Which are the courses? If this were so, my dear friend, then laser would not have been invented. Laser is a combination of 3 different disciplines.
Yep.
Then genetic engineering would not have come. Biology, mathematics, quantum mechanics. If the student were to decide like this, he would have just stick to one particular discipline and gone into that. And I think role of guru can never be underestimated. Role of visionaries, mentors can never be underestimated. And futurist technologies cannot be just defined today like
this. There is no dispute on that. I have been telling that right from the beginning, you cannot eliminate teachers. In the last presentation also, in the last slide, last line itself, I have mentioned. No, even no. Maybe there is a maybe there is a communication. I'm talking about the today's demand from the student side. I'm talking only one thing: today's demands from the user side, that is student side. I'm not saying anything. 100% agree with you. Innovations cannot be done overnight. If you want to sit down on the apple tree and apple falls down from the tree, then only I will innovate, it will not be. Yes, Rutherford did not kept intentionally saying that that radio material and then photographic plate in the same place in the desk. Otherwise, he could not have invented X-rays. These are all wrong notions. I agree. 100% I agree with you. That's all. Okay. Yes, but what we are doing is today's demand from the industry, there is a need for the manpower and high quality people and increase the increase the employability of the student. That is the immediate goal. The other goal is the innovation, promotion of innovation. If right from the beginning, if the day one he is out of the college, if he is searching and looking for a bread and butter for his own belly and for his family, then how can innovation happen? A student should be given free hand. That's what I am talking about. Most of the innovations is a second history. That what I am talking about today is there is an immediate need of projecting and employability in the most of the students that are coming out and improving the faculty in the various colleges, especially in the Tier 2, Tier 3 colleges. India is very huge country, and there is a scope for each and everything that you are talking about. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Murthy.